Hi, this is Dan Barrett from the Greater Toronto Area Council, giving a shout out to members to get engaged with their locals and participate in the upcoming Phoenix Day of Action on the 28th of February. So PSAC has taken a number of actions to address and fix the Phoenix problem. We raised the red flag before and after the launch of the pay system, successfully fought for a claims process, taken the government to court in June 2016. We filed a court application, and in December 2016, we secured a court order which directed the government to improve access to health for people on disability, maternity, and paternity leave. It also required the government to maintain the staffing levels necessary to resolve the ongoing pay problems. PSAC successfully is fighting to expand access to emergency payments, filing an unfair labor practice complaint in September 2016. The PSAC filed an unfair labor practice complaint against the employer and appeared before the Public Service Labor Board and Employment Board in September 2016. PSAC has taken issues directly to the minister responsible for Phoenix and the president of the Treasury Board and other cabinet ministers, and we continue to do so. We are pushing government officials for solutions, raising public awareness, standing up for the Miramichi Pay Center, negotiating new measures to attract and retain compensation advisors, filing a complaint when the employer failed to meet the collective agreement deadline for the Treasury Board. In October 2017, the Treasury Board officials confirmed it would not meet the 150-day implementation deadline for all the workers covered by the 4 collective agreements signed by PSAC in June of 2017. This admission confirmed PSAC's suspicion that Phoenix would derail implementation. PSAC asked the board to order the employer to pay damages to those affected and to take all necessary steps to immediately comply with the Public Service Labor Relations and Employment Act and implement the terms of the collective agreement. PSAC successfully is advocating for mandatory training. When the government announced voluntary government-wide training on the pay system, PSAC insisted that the training needed to be mandatory. We have lobbied members of Parliament. At the end of November 2017, elected officers and members of PSAC kicked off a lobbying campaign on Parliament Hill. We met with members of Parliament and cabinet ministers to share the stories of the impact of Phoenix on our members and to present new demands to the government. 1. Step up the hiring process and expand the compensation capabilities both in the pay center and in departments. 2. Pay damages for workers impacted by Phoenix. 3. Dedicate staff to help employees decipher their pay and figure out what they are owed. 4. Stop recovering of emergency salary advance until pay problems are addressed. 5. Recover the net pay instead of the gross pay for overpayments. PSAC staff and elected officers answer calls and emails every day from members who have questions or need help regarding their pay. We also try to quickly address your questions and comments on social media, Facebook and Twitter. We post information and updates on our website regularly. PSAC representatives and elected leaders regularly work to escalate cases of members who tell us about problems they are having. PSAC also recently just completed a round of training in the GTA for pay advisors to administer first aid to those folks directly impacted by Phoenix. On the 28th of February, there will be a nationwide day of protest to expedite a resolution to Phoenix and enable public servants to go about their business without having to worry about their pay. So contact your local, make sure that you're engaged in the local activity, and if you're able, there's a number of sites in the GTA. Area councils across the country are coordinating events for the 28th. In Toronto, that they would include Scarborough Town Centre, a 200 Town Court Centre in the morning, the Honourable Bill Morneau's office for those in the downtown core, for those in the Yonge and St. Clair area to go to Minister Carol Bennett's office, and in other areas, Ali Hassan in Willowdale or Michael Levitt in York Centre. So, although it's an ambitious request, we are hoping to coordinate with the different locals in those areas, and we'll be calling out to see what works for members in your area. So thanks again, and hope to see you out on the 28th on the PSAC's Day of Action. So hope to see you out on the 28th in your local and at some of the sites that we mentioned to make your voice matter, to help those burnt by Phoenix, and ultimately to help fix the Phoenix pay system. Thank you.